Hi, this is Gary Bowles, based in San Francisco. I'm really excited about bringing big ideas to people inside organizations, and I'm really honored to show you these videos by John Hagel and John Seely Brown. Enjoy.
And to be able to kind of communicate that, it's a bit trickier than it might first sound, because because it's a highly ambiguous statement.
Right.
It has a tremendous amount of tacit structure underlying it.
Yes.
So somehow you have to lay bare a little bit more of, at least, if not the context of the problem, which eventually is important, but a little bit more about the context of yourself.
Yes.
So they kind of understand in a broader way kind of what motivates you.
Right.
So it's almost reverse engineering of motivation.
Right.
Here.
Right.
And that's kind of a very interesting twist, which I've seen you actually experiment a lot with on Facebook. Maybe you kind of go over that.
I think a key part of this is this notion of the more context you can provide about who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, the more likely you are to attract the kinds of people that can be helpful. And we all have a natural tendency, I think, that given the kind of approach we've had in the past in the push world, to compartmentalize, to say, there's a certain piece of me which is here, and
right.
That's all I'm going to share. But in the absence of this broader sense of who you are, you lose a lot of the texture of what you're trying to grapple with. And as you said, it's very hard to frame a clear, precise statement of the research or the problem you're dealing with. Often it's very vague and open-ended, and the more you can share of your context, the more likely you are to be able to bring people in.
But I would say, if we go back to the phrase we used earlier, the shift from conversation to construction.
Yes.
Actually here we're talking about how do you construct context.
Yes.
So it's not just construct objects,
right,
or problems, but in this particular case there is some thinking that goes on to how do you construct the right kind of context that actually kind of serendipitously connects to other people, so that you kind of hook them in understanding a little bit more about where you are coming from.
No, for sure. I think that's a key thing that increasingly is important in terms of the world of pull, and yet we have very limited kind of skill or practice to draw on in terms of how to do that. And frankly, I think what's so interesting about social network platforms like Facebook is there are a lot of people that are kind of spontaneously experimenting with different practices, different ways of creating and constructing that context that can be helpful to connect to a broader range of more diverse people.
Kind of like Goffman reinvented for the social network age.
There we go. Irving Goffman.
Presentation of self.